Hello and welcome to my channel. Go ahead, hit the like, hit the share. This video, let's talk about how the internet is on fire right now. You see, the Me Too movement already knows what this Cosby case is going to do for everything they had in play. Just the same way that they targeted Mr. Cosby and tried to enact all these new laws to further implement their agenda, they violated many other individuals' rights in similar ways. So when you have Bill Cosby being released, you have to realize that just opens the door and becomes case law for anybody else. So of course, you have all these people in the black community still trying to throw salt towards R. Kelly's wounds, but you don't realize people that are over here on the Epstein case and other cases like Weinstein are going to use Bill Cosby case for the same thing. Again, this crab in a bucket mentality to make you just sit here and keep hating people that look like you when you don't realize how these people will maneuver laws and do the most for their own benefit.
That's why I'm running for President of the United States.
This morning when I got up and rolled out of bed, my friend Stephen Lenahan, he gave me a telephone call and he told me, he said, I have some bad news. And I was bracing for a hurricane or something. And he was like, Cosby's out of prison. And I was I felt like, first of all, really so angry. And second, I felt like I was kicked in the stomach in my abdomen by some psychic blow.
You say you felt like you were kicked in your stomach, but, they're saying this is a procedural issue, and that's why he was released. How do you feel about that?
I'm angry. I'm angry they let him out over procedural. That's basically all I have to say. I can't get into the legalese about it. I can only speak from my heart and say that statute of limitations is not fair. It's just not fair.
There are people.
No. What's not fair is women like you coming out here writing these fictional ass books, coming out telling us the books are full of lies, and then getting on these platforms with these little stories of how upset and hurt you are about this judgment. And then you got this coon right here interviewing you, don't even mention that fact. So that's why I can't take a lot of these so-called media outlets serious, because even they can't even get to the real questions, and you see the bias when they ask their questions.
People they're falling on both sides, but some people are rejoicing and saying he deserves, it's only fair that he gets out. What do you say to those people?
Oh, I say to those people, you have not been raped by them. I was raped by Bill Cosby, and I know that it changed my life forever. And that's why my heart goes out to all the women that started Me Too after I first came out on your show. I just think people are ignorant. There was so many facts, I had Polaroids of the guy in a bathrobe.
How does that still affect you?
And you won't even say how Me Too was originated and how Tarana Burke feels like her hashtag was taken over by individuals. Talk about that, Janice Dickinson. Y'all sit there and let this woman get all this hype chasing R. Kelly, and then y'all tossed her and her movement to the side and come with this time's up bullshit.
Well, today I have to admit I was forlorn. I was down, just not, normally I'm talking up a storm to my husband, Rocky this, Rocky that. I couldn't even, I basically didn't want to look in the mirror. It's just a very unjust verdict.
Janice, cut your shit. See, people like her, I can't even deal with. Let's take this to the real world and how people are incarcerated all the time. And they say jail is supposed to be for rehabilitation, right? But then when you go to jail and you get all this stuff on your record, maybe it might be one incident on your record that changed your whole life. And people gonna continue to look at you the same way she trying to describe, because if you made a mistake in the past, it will follow you for the rest of your life. Does that mean you should be the crab sitting around making excuses for poor decisions you've made? No, that means you need to figure out better ways to get whatever you're trying to get accomplished done without using people and playing the victim. Now, with that being said, you know Me Too is mad. They went through all this trouble, manipulated all this information, and put all these rumors out here just to realize that they only opened the door to give all these men they're targeting these loopholes in their defense. Now, it's just been released that R. Kelly's attorneys has also put in another motion for his release. So with that being said, we already know the other attorneys withdrew because they said that they were having issues with representing their clients effectively. And in this motion that came out, they're basically highlighting the type of things that are interfering with their counsel. So we'll continue to wait and see if they will grant him this early release. However, as I mentioned in other conversations, I believe that this case with Cosby is going to be something that is going to benefit R. Kelly. Because let's think about it. These people have taken evidence to CNN News, a major media outlet. Attorneys involved have been convicted of extortion. The prosecutor has been implicated in very suspicious activity, which would hint towards misconduct. The witnesses' stories are all over the place and don't line up with the indictment. This whole case against R. Kelly is all over the place, and we don't know exactly what's in the paperwork for his last trial and how they had to use all this wordplay to further try this man today. We also don't know how these people presented information to the grand jury in order to secure this indictment in the first place. All of these things can come back into play while all these other people been over here inciting you to do stupid shit instead of trusting the process.
So you can imagine yesterday when this new decision came down, they were devastated. When I spoke exclusively with Andrea Constant in 2018, her case had just led to Bill Cosby's conviction. You are now going to be known as the woman who took down Bill Cosby. I never set out to bring down anybody, and I haven't necessarily because I'm not alone. This is a collective consciousness. Now that collective group feels blindsided by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court's decision Wednesday to set Cosby free.
Everybody said you're so brave. For what? It doesn't matter. I'm actually beyond tears. I can't even cry. I'm so angry. Because we found justice, and now that's being taken out from under our feet.
See that bullshit? See, y'all mad because y'all can't sit around for 20, 30 years mad about some shit and then decide to collectively get together and say, well, now we want justice. That's not how shit works. If you want justice when shit happens, go get justice when the shit happens. Otherwise, realize that when you do all this stuff that they did to conspire against these men, you're going to be sitting here again emotional talking about how you're upset that things are not going your damn way.
After returning home Wednesday, Cosby wrote on Twitter, "I have always maintained my innocence." In a statement, Andrea Constant and her legal team said the court's decision was not only disappointing, but of concern in that it may discourage those who seek justice for sexual assault in the criminal justice system from reporting or participating in the prosecution of the assailant.
No, what y'all should have did was collectively got together and formed some groups that would motivate, inspire real people with real stories to report properly. Okay? Is this making sense to y'all? You cannot take it upon yourself to do shit, then get mad when the shit goes left. Okay?
I come here tonight and plead with you. Believe in yourself and believe that you're somebody. And as I said to the group last night, nobody else can do this for us. No document can do this for us. No Lincolnian Emancipation Proclamation can do this for us. No Kennysonian or Johnsonian Civil Rights Bill can do this for us. If the Negro is to be free, he must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own Emancipation Proclamation. Don't let anybody take your manhood. Be proud of our heritage. As somebody said earlier tonight, we don't have anything to be ashamed of. Somebody told a lie one day. They couched it in language. They made everything black, ugly, and evil. Look in your dictionary and see the synonyms of the word black. There's always something degrading and low and sinister. Look at the word white. It's always something pure, high, and clean. But I want to get the language right tonight. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful.
And of course, you know, the memes are all over the place. But this is the thing with the black community. People need to realize that it is not the general public's role to decide whether people are innocent or guilty unless they're going to be on a jury. The fact of the matter that people are so privileged to feel like they could just get on social media and condemn people so willy-nilly when they don't know all the facts is beyond me. It's obvious that there is a history of this type of injustice going on in the black community, but because black people feel a certain way about successful black people, it's easy for them to turn a blind eye to what really may be hiding behind all these scandals. The point in this video is, don't always run with what mainstream tells you. It could cost some people years of their life that they won't get back at all. And in some states, you can't sue for being unlawfully in prison like some states can. In some states, they still operate chain gangs. People need to wake up and realize that these people are manipulating laws to keep us enslaved. Wake up.
Apologizes to R. Kelly's alleged victims for his old tweets. So once again, a celebrity is being called to the carpet over statements from the past. This time, the radio host Charlamagne the God is the one in the crossfire. The Breakfast Club talking head faced criticism over the weekend when he appeared in the surviving R. Kelly docuseries. Some viewers were bothered when Charlamagne was criticized criticizing R. Kelly for sexual misconduct allegations when Charlemagne was accused of raping a 15-year-old girl in 2001. He eventually pleaded guilty of a lesser charge, which was contributing to the delinquency of a minor, and was sentenced to only 3 years of probation. Plus, old tweets surfaced of Charlemagne joking about the infamous 2002 child pornography tape involving R. Kelly and a supposed underage girl. One of those tweets from 2010 read, "R. Kelly looks 20-something. The fountain of youth clearly can be found within the teenage vagina." Surviving R. Kelly executive producer Dream Hampton was questioned about including Charlemagne in the Lifetime documentary. The writer and filmmaker responded to the backlash on Twitter, saying, "I'm just seeing Charlemagne's 2010 tweet tonight. I interviewed him before the story about him broke, but he should have cut him altogether rather than limit his appearance. It was a huge mistake. I probably spent more time arguing to cut Bruce. Again, mistake," wrote Hampton on January 6th.
No, y'all should have spent more time investigating and researching these people that y'all got in this docuseries full of fucking lies.
She added, "He was asked because he's been so clear and vocal with his criticism and condemnation of R. Kelly. He was interviewed before the story about him broke. I tweeted an apology a few minutes ago explaining I didn't see his old tweets until I was tagged with them tonight." Charlemagne returned to the Breakfast Club on Tuesday after being on vacation for several weeks. On Wednesday, the show aired an interview with Lisa Van Allen, one of Kelly's alleged victims that appeared in Surviving R. Kelly. During the conversation with Van Allen, Charlemagne took time to apologize for the old tweets making fun of statutory rape. His acknowledgement of error was directed at all of the women accusing Kelly of sexual, mental, and physical abuse. He says, "I apologize for any jokes that I've made that may have upset you or any of the other victims. Honestly, none of us were thinking about that 10, 15 years ago. We were just thinking about clowning R. Kelly, but we weren't thinking about the actual victims," he said.
I went to the sex store and got Spanish fly.
Oh, so you raped her?
Shut up. Spanish fly. They sell it in the sex store. I'm telling the truth. They sell it in the Spanish store. I had to fucking
They sell knives in the sex store too. You could put that to a girl's throat and have sex with it. Doesn't mean it's illegal.
So I put the Spanish fly in the E&J. We drinking the E&J. So in my mind, I don't think it really worked, but I felt like I got horny as a fucker too. Right? So she was drunk and shit, and we had sex and shit, and like a lot of my boys was trying to come in the room and I'm like, nah, chill out, I can't, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna let you run a train on it. That's rape.
Yeah.
Okay, so right? So
this is one-on-one, it ain't rape.
Yeah, so the next
trains are rape.
So the next morning she wakes up. And we talk about it. And she's like, "What happened?" I'm like, "We had sex." She said, "Okay, well, I'm glad it was you." Then a couple days later, she's like, "Yo, you sure only had sex with you?" Because one of my stupid cousins was going around saying he which he didn't. I know for a fact he didn't. I was there the whole time. He did not. He looked at her naked, but he didn't. Right? So I'm telling her, "No, me and you just had sex. Nobody else did nothing." So it just was weird that she was like, "Well, I'm just glad it was you." You know what I'm saying? Because in my mind, I'm like, "Yo, you could have been in a real bad situation if it was another."
Compliment, man. A girl just said, "Yo, at least you raped me."
I didn't rape her. I did not rape her. I did not rape her.
If it was any of your cousins or friends, it would be rape. But
I didn't rape her because me and her had every intention of having sex with each other.
So then why would you put the Spanish fly?
I was a freaky. I'm still a freaky motherfucker, but I listen.
Was she passed out while you fucked her?
Nah, she wasn't like. She was like one of those drunks where. She was one of those drunks where like. She was one of those drunks where she was like. Oh, like she wasn't coherent, but she was up.
I'm trying to go back to my old tweets and delete everything.
Oh, you did that.
I've been did that. Yeah, you gotta just. Oh, you start getting that book money, so let me get on that.
I didn't like the man I was, man. I didn't like the man I was.
Oh man, Twitter get you in trouble, man.
What?
One time I texted him, I said, "Yo, they going in on you on Twitter." He said, "About what?" I told him the whole the R. Kelly because he was in the documentary. He said, "Man, I don't care about that." I said, "This."
I didn't.
You still supporting R? He come out with a new album. You gonna buy it?
Nah. You know what's crazy? I had never been a big R. Kelly fan like that.
Nah.
And I was one of the people that saw the tape back in the day in the barbershop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's like I've been to a type of time R. Kelly was on. I've been speaking out against R. Kelly, and he's been hiding
Lies.
in plain sight, whether it was age ain't nothing but a number for Aaliyah or calling himself the Pied Piper. Yeah. Like, I've been seeing what it was. I've never been a big R. Kelly guy.
He got a crazy line.
Lies.
I interviewed Raheem Devon before, right? And he was... And
y'all look alike, you know.
Hey, we got the same eyes. That's why you hiding them. Yeah. So he did the song Customer. And then R. Kelly did a remix on his own and put a verse on there. So it was right after he got off his case. He beat the case in 2008. He did this remix and he said, "Ladies, if you thirsty, I got that good lemonade."
And shorty, if you're thirsty, I got some good lemonade.
Lord have mercy. See what I'm saying? He know what he doing.
But what about what?
Lies, 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 lies.
What about Dr. Dre now with Dee Barnes having done her interview on Wendy Williams and bringing up things that I didn't know all the details of what happened with Dr.
She lying too.
I didn't hear all the details, but I didn't hear anything about that. What happened? Oh, yeah, I definitely heard about that.
They talked about that numerous times. I mean, Dre's apologized for it. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
I seen the Michelle A movie. You talking about like the
Michelle A movie was horrible. Yeah. Like, and that's when the D-Bar stuff kind of came back.
Right.
So it's just like, I don't know, man. We pick and choose, and we have like selective morality depending on how much we like a person. Right. Like, you know?
This like you're not a Cowboys fan anymore, but you don't listen to R. Kelly.
Patriots.
You go for the Cowboys.
That's about the only thing truthful that came out of Charlemagne the Donkey's mouth. People got selective morality, including his dumb ass. Now, this is the video I did in which I spoke out on Charlemagne the God raping 15-year-old Jessica Reed, in which he so shocked and appalled about R. Kelly, but he got his own rape charges in which he had swept under the rug. He pled out on, in which he failed to release that information to the public. Okay, whoop-de-doo.
Kelly props for one thing and one thing only, or two things.
Oh, he just said props to him, but a while ago, let him tell it. He don't support him. He don't like him. The fuck out of here. Full of shit.
Number one, he taught me how to eat ass. Shout out to Kelly. I learned how to eat ass because of the R. Kelly tape. That's true. And the Come Pee Come thing is still one of the most legendary, incredible things I've ever seen in my life. I still don't understand how a man.
Run it again.
Only, two things. Number one, he taught me how to eat ass. Shout out to Kelly. I learned how to eat ass because of the R. Kelly tape. That's true. And the Come Pee Come thing is still one of the most legendary, incredible things I've ever seen in my life. I still don't understand how a man could come and then pee.
One more time.
Only, two things. Number one, he taught me how to eat ass. Shout out to Kelly. I learned how to eat ass because of the R. Kelly tape. That's true. And the Come Pee Come thing is still one of the most legendary, incredible things I've ever seen in my life. I still don't understand how a man could come and then pee right after coming and then come again. That happened. Wait, that happened? He busted a nut on this little 14-year-old girl. Then he peed on me like it was like the sperm came out, pee came out, sperm came out.
Scene. I ain't right back, I don't trust nobody. I just looked at my wrist, I got time today. Fuck it, I'm crossing the line today.